Life has a funny way of punching us right in the mouth when we least expect it, which is why today we're talking about how to make sure we're ready when it does.
Life is beautiful.
So everybody knows the story of the three little pigs. I don't know if there's one human on earth that does not know the story. But if you are one of those humans, I'll give you a quick synopsis of the three little pigs story. So three little pigs build their houses on a hill. One makes his house out of straw. Another one makes it a little stronger. He builds it out of sticks. And then a third one takes a really long time and he builds his house out of bricks. Then the big bad wolf comes along and one by one, he's blowing the pigs' houses down. He blows the house with the straw right down. He blows the sticks right down. But when he gets to the bricks, he can't blow this thing down because it is just too strong and sturdy for him. And all these pigs, as their houses get blown down, end up in the brick pig's house. Did I just butcher that?
No, you did a good job. Pretty good.
um,
I mean, it's not a great story. Yeah, I mean, a kid won't be enticed to listen to your voice. But yeah, you got the main points down there.
So why am I sharing the story? Because chances are you have not heard the story of the three little pigs in a long time, but I recently just came across it again and I said there are so many lessons here that I've completely missed
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah, when we're kids, we think the story is about the big bad wolf. But
Yeah.
it's not necessarily about the big bad
Well,
wolf.
first of all, the first lesson that I pulled is the big bad wolf is actually not a big bad wolf at all. This is just a wolf who wants to eat.
Yeah.
Like a wolf's got to eat, and pig is his food.
Mm.
So he's just going and he's trying to find his food. It's not a big bad wolf. He's just a big wolf. And I think that's lesson number one, which is that adversity, which is what the big bad wolf represents in the story,
Yeah.
is not this bad thing. It is just a thing that happens in all of our lives. It is part of life, and in adversity and problems, whatever you want to call them, they are what make life meaningful. And without problems in our lives, life would not be interesting or meaningful. There would be no reason to live. It would just be euphoria every day and things would get boring.
Yeah.
So I think that to me was lesson number one. But lesson number two is that this wolf did not pick and choose which house he was going to visit. He did not pick and choose which pig he was going to come to. He spared none of them, which is lesson number two. Adversity comes for every single one of us. It
Yeah.
doesn't pick and choose who it comes for. It is going to come for every single one of us. But the third and most important lesson is the best way to handle adversity when it does come is not after it punches us in the mouth, is not after it tries to blow the house down,
Yeah.
but before. The best way to handle adversity is to be prepared for adversity.
Yeah.
And that to me was the one I wanted to really make this episode about.
To be proactive.
To be prepared for adversity when it comes, because I think that is a mental health lesson that does not get talked about enough,
Yeah.
and it needs to be.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Marcus Aurelius quote, where in the morning he kind of reminds himself, like, today I'm going to run into people that are assholes, basically. And he's like preparing for the day. And he knows that there's going to be people along his path that piss him off, basically.
Yeah.
But because he's starting his day by reminding himself that those people that he's going to run into, it's not personal against him, but there's some shit going on in their life. When he does meet them on that road, he's more prepared to handle them with grace.
100%. And I think when adversity doesn't come for a while and life feels like it's smooth sailing, you kind of neglect that preparation because you start to get complacent. And
Yeah.
I've fallen into that trap I don't know how many times. And I stopped doing all the things that made me feel prepared, which is daily meditation practice, daily journaling practice, filling my mind with inspiring ideas every single day. Those are all habits that keep my mind ready for adversity, that keep me in the right headspace. But when the big bad wolf doesn't come for a while, you start to get comfortable. Like the guy in the house of straw and the guy in the house of sticks. They were complacent. They did not expect this big bad wolf to come. And actually, what they were doing was laughing at the pig who was building his house out of brick, who took so long to do this. And I feel like that was something that happened to us in our personal development journey very early on. We were getting laughed at as these two weirdos for meditating every day
Yeah.
or for journal. You guys journal? Like, you guys journal? Like, I thought you were like these jocks. Why are you meditating? You're so weird. You know how many times we've been called weird for meditating?
Yeah.
And yet, now what happens? When people are dealing with adversity, they come to us for book recommendations. They come to us for advice because we put in that work. So the people who were originally laughed at end up being the ones, and that's what happened
Yeah.
with the pigs. They end up in the brick house after their shit blows down.
Yeah.
So I just thought there were so many lessons here. You don't seem entertained by my three pigs analogies.
No, no, I think it's a really. I mean, there's a reason why that story has lasted the test of time, right? I don't know how old that story is, but I am assuming that it's like hundreds of years old.
I would probably
And
say
it's
1,000.
yeah.
Let's look it up real quick.
Let's get a little Google search there. What do you got?
Over 180 years old.
Yeah.
So it was published in 1840.
Which is crazy, right? That and you were able to articulate it so clearly, and you haven't heard it in so long. That's the power of a really good story. And I think you're right about this lesson that you're pulling from it in this modern, mature age, which is that it's not about running away from the big bad wolf. It's about being prepared for when the big bad wolf comes into our life. And I think that's really the goal here. The goal isn't to build a life where nothing bad happens. It's to build a life where bad things don't break us.
Exactly.
And the way we do that is by being prepared.
Yeah, and I think that the bad news about that preparation and these daily habits about meditation and journaling and filling your mind with positivity is that they take a really long time to actually compound
Yeah.
and get your mind prepared for that adversity, but they are really quick to leave if you stop.
Yeah.
So,
You know what that reminds me of? Insurance.
okay.
Okay, insurance is a pain in the ass to pay, right? Let's say you get, I don't know, you have insurance on a diamond ring, for example. It's a $50,000 diamond ring, and every month you pay to insure that ring. And
Yep.
every month it's a pain in the ass. You got to pay this money, and like I didn't lose the ring, and I still got to pay it. But then one day, your wife flushes it down the toilet. And now, all of a sudden, you're prepared because you've been putting in those reps every month and paying, and now you don't have to worry about it because you were prepared.
That's a great analogy. Let's use that to bring us into the call to action for today, which is to ask yourself, what is one positive habit that you have gotten complacent with? What is a daily thing that you used to do that was working for you that you no longer do because life feels kind of good right now? Because do not fall into the trap of believing that adversity will not come your way, that the big bad wolf is not coming to blow your house down, because it most certainly will, inevitably, in due time. So if it's a meditation practice, a gratitude practice, a reading habit, this is your reminder to get back to laying that daily brick so that when the big bad wolf does come for you, you are ready for it.
Yeah, be prepared. I mean, expect the best, but be prepared for the worst, always. All right, thanks for hanging out with us. Love you.
Peace.